Hello and welcome back to Scott Reviews Things, and it's week 3. Week 3. I've lost my fingernail. Careless. Not care. Yeah, it's careless. Week 3 of going to Andy's Man Club. I've bought myself a t-shirt. I had my wristband given to me very kindly by the people at Andy's Man Club, but I've invested in a t-shirt because that's how much I've enjoyed going. And the first 2 weeks were quite heavy, and I wanted to do a little bit of an update because I went last night, got back from London about 6 o'clock. Obviously I had to take Leah she's now at St Bartholomew's because hopefully she's been trying a new drug for her heart condition, and didn't know if I was going to be back in time to get to Andy's Man Club last night, and I'm glad I did. Got back at 6 o'clock, left at 6:30. They meet nationwide to Andy's Man Club on a Monday evening, 7 o'clock. There will be a meeting near you. I'm not a huge advocate of speaking to psychologists and counsellors and things like that. What I like about Andy's Man Club, and I've said it before, is it's just a bunch of guys that can go have a coffee and a biscuit and sit and talk about anything, really. Get your 3 questions every week. You get your how's your week been, a positive from your week, and do you need to get anything off your chest? And that's it. You sit around with the talking ball. First of all, introduce yourself, how long you've been going, etc, 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 and then you move off into your groups and you speak in your groups. You get your 3 questions and you get your 2 supplementary questions. Now, the last couple of weeks I feel the videos have been quite heavy. Obviously the first time I went was quite hard. It was quite hard to open up to people that you don't know and speak about your problems, but I listened to the people there and was very interested in what they had to say. And then last week it was a hard week last week. So I've seen my son for 4 years. I explained that in last week's video. So it's 2 quite heavy weeks. And there was some. I'm not going to share anything said. Some of the stuff last week was hard to listen to, and then this week, obviously I hadn't seen my son for 4 years, so was coming through that. I had the week off with Wanda, so I actually had quite a nice week. And what I liked about last night is it's not always doom and gloom at Andy's Man Club. I've been going for 3 weeks, and last week we had a bit of fun as well. There was some good conversation. There were some funny conversations as well. So I don't want these videos going forward to be all about the negative, and I want them to be some positivity in it, because I think that has to balance out. It has to balance out that there's some positivity in these things, because it is a very positive place. I don't want it to come across these videos that it's a negative place, because it isn't. Obviously there is some stuff said there that is quite personal to people, and at the end of the day, I'm never going to share any of that. I'll share some of my own life, but not anybody else's, because that would be, well, it's against the code. But the 2 questions last night that they asked, so you get your 3 questions. How's your week been? I've had a good week. Actually, I had a nice week with Wanda. Positive from the week, well, I didn't kill each other. That was a bonus. So we got through, and we went to London, and Wanda had time at Disney, and she had a nice time. We had a nice day out, so that was nice. And then, what's the last question? Get something off your chest. Something I got off my chest was, and it could be anything. It could be anything about your life, but there's one thing that really fucking pisses me off, and it's every time you pay for something now, with either your phone or your card, wherever you do it, it says, do you want to round that up for charity? No, I fucking don't. I don't want to round it up for charity. If I want to give to charity, I'll give to the charity I want to give to, not to your fucking charity. Stop it. Everywhere you go, it's at the bloody, it's in the petrol station, it's in McDonald's, it's every bloody where. The pound shop, even they just reach across and bloody, well, it's not a pound shop anymore. That's another rant, isn't it? It's another rant for another day. So no, I don't want to round it up to fucking whatever it is to give to a charity. How do I know that's going to get to a charity? Stop it. And the fourth question was reliving something. If you could relive something, a happy memory that you could relive, what would it be? Obviously got my wedding day and the day my son was born, although it was with that other thing, but it got brought up in conversation and I thought that's absolutely fantastic. So the thing I'd love to relive, because it made me happy, was growing up in the 80s was fucking brilliant. It was a brilliant time to grow up in the 80s, and being a huge Star Wars fan, the first Christmas I got my Millennium Falcon, my Luke, my Han Solo, Leia, Chewbacca, all of the original characters, the Hasbro characters, or the Kenner back then. Christmas in the 80s, for me, I know it wasn't great for everybody, it certainly wasn't great for Wanda, but for me, growing up in the 80s was brilliant. So if I could really relive anything, away from getting married to Wanda, it would be growing up in the 80s. It was fucking amazing, absolutely amazing. And there were some great stories of the guy next to me said about the 80s, and it's like it just spurs things on. And then someone said about seeing Alien in the cinema and seeing the fucking thing burst out of the chest for the first time, actually in the cinema. And the first time I saw Empire Strikes Back, I'd seen Star Wars, I'd seen Return of the Jedi, but the first time I saw Empire Strikes Back, I went to see all three back to back in the hard wooden chairs of the Odeon cinema. My back's never been the same again. And it's things like that that are the positives for me. So it was a light-hearted session last night at Andy's Man Club, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoy the interaction with the other guys. I like listening to what's going on in other people's lives without being judgmental, and you can ask questions, and it's really, I get more out of it than I ever thought I would, and it's something that I decided to do. Wanda badgered me to go to counselling about my divorce, lost both my parents, stopped seeing my son, but this is something I wanted to do, and genuinely it's one of the best things I've done for a long time. So they meet again, Andy's Man Club meet 7 o'clock. I'm not sponsored, they don't pay me, I've got no affiliation with it. All I do is go along. I bought myself a t-shirt for £16 because I believe in it that much, and I want to raise some money for charity for them. It's been one of the best things I've done for a long time. So what I didn't want to do is keep coming on saying and it like being always down. I want it to be a positive thing as well. And I know there's been positive things, but last week was all about me and my son. The first week was about going through that door, and it is hard to go through that door for the first time, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to next week, and I can't recommend it highly enough. So if you've got one near you and it's something that you've been thinking about, I can't honestly recommend it highly enough. Men don't speak enough. I think there was 28, 29 guys there last night. Again, it's brilliantly supported. There's new people every week. Everybody's welcome. Well, men, obviously. And yeah, it's okay to talk.